this will not be a typical open box video. We'll do some detective work. We'll trace back in history and determine who did it first. And it starts with opening this envelope. So let's go.
Oh, what fun we're going to have together.
Trust in me.
Alright, let's open this up. Okay. They cannot invest in a Gemini box. I didn't pay $1 for these books, you know. But I think for the price of I think Jerry Jitterbug says the best.
Picking up rare Golden Age comics for the price of a tank of gas or less.
Oh, I got me a little nice thank you note. We appreciate your business. Enjoy your purchase. Thank you. If you'd like to visit us again, find us at eBay stores, Nostalgic Collectibles. Yes. I'll give you. Here. Right there. I don't know how to say that. Nostalgic Collectibles. Okay. Anyway, here's a book I got. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? Captain Marvel, 10 cents. Number 145. Huh. I don't know what that means. This back here it says 181. What's that mean? Well, he marked it at 7.0. Condition 7.0. Has some wax writing there. Yeah, I don't think that's 7.0. But what do I know? There's a mark there. Corners are worn out. But anyway, I'm happy I got it. Now let's get into the detective stuff that I promised you. Hold on. It looks like I already made this detective video about well, actually exactly 2 months ago in a short form. Anyway, let's watch this short clip, then we could start from there. What do these books have in common? This magazine has a comic adaptation of the movie Planet of the Apes. It was published back in August 1974. This comic first appearance and origin of Kamandi, Jack Kirby's creation. It was published in November 1972. Kamandi takes place in a dystopian future where animals rule supreme. My comic shop says a series that borrows many concepts from Planet of the Apes. But really though? Sure, Planet of the Apes movie was released in 1968.
You maniac! You blew it up!
And it was adapted from a 1963 science fiction novel by French author Pierre Boulez. However, Jack Kirby tells a Kamandi-like story in this publication, Alarming Tale, issue number 1. It was published in September 1957. Matter of fact, this slab notes Kamandi prototype issue. For example, in the last enemy in this book, a time traveler travels to the future to find out, again, animals rule supreme and humans have become extinct. So is Jack Kirby the first to tell story with a anthropomorphism in the comic books? No. In this book, Shazam, aka Captain Marvel, travels to year 81953 and discovers that the land is ruled by giant rats and mankind is reduced to being sewer rats. You say this is from 70s? Yep, it's from the 70s. But if you look inside, it clearly shows that this story is a reprint from Fawcett publication back in 1953. So what is the moral of the story? Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9, there is nothing new under the sun. Case in point, Aesop's fables. Do you remember reading any of Aesop's fables when you were a child? This guy did anthropomorphic stories in Old Testament times. So yeah, this book is the book that this book refers to, and I got it. The giant rats story comes from this book, and it's one of the 3 stories in this book. It's one of the 2 stories in this book. The other stories also I think is a Golden Age story, but it's from different book. But this book made it cover for the second story in this book. So actually I like this book as well. So yeah, and it's really interesting how I got this book, that yield to this book. So let's talk about that. I don't know if you guys remember when I got this book from the great legend himself. He sent me an AOK of this Golden Age book, 4.5 Golden Age from Fawcett publication, Captain Marvel book, because he thought I would want it because it had the worm, the Mr. Mind, the first physical appearance of Mr. Mind in this book. And of course I would want it, but did I expect anyone to send me an AOK for this book? No. I mean, I was just... but on that same day I got this book. I mean, that wasn't it. On that same day, I picked up a couple books from Collector's World. I think even Metarog knows that place. He loves that place. Anyway, I went there while my wife was shopping grocery next door. I went there real quick and picked up a few books, and this is one of them. I picked this one up because it's a Bronze Age book, and I saw these rats with this Shazam. I'm going, what Shazam doing with the rats? Anthropomorphic story? Did Shazam fall into the Kamandi universe? I'm going, oh, I want to definitely get this, right? So I got this. I came home and I found this in the mailbox, and I'm looking at both of them and going, anthropomorphic, the worm, the rats, and these rats look very familiar to me, Captain Marvel, Shazam connection there. Publication is different, DC, Fawcett, right? But there are more connections to be made later on that I didn't realize it was coming. So, what are those connections? These rats, right? Well, when I opened it up, I found out that when I opened this book up, I found out this is the book they were pointing at, right? And this book is Fawcett publication, Captain Marvel, Fawcett publication, right? That's not the only connection, right? I made the connection of the rats with the Kamandi's Rats. By the way, this was published in Year of the Rats. Jack Kirby was careful enough to publish this on Year of the Rats and call it Year of the Rats. Kamandi and Year of the Rats. The rats, bad guys. Good guys in this one, by the way. This one, I don't know if this is a reprint. I've been looking for this book because of the Last Enemy, and let me show you the picture of the rat. The rat, they all look the same to me. There's rat here, right? Rat here, of course, rat here, and of course, because of this book, rats here, right? And this right here, who did I get this book from? This guy right here, the great legend himself. I don't know why, but after he gave me this book, his channel popped up. Great legend. I don't think he does too many shows. When that show popped up, I went to it, and he had one of these books on sale. I said, "Hey, save me that. I'll buy it." So I got this at good price. You know, another Golden Age book. I'm going, ah! So Great Legend is responsible for both of these books, and you know, I thought maybe he could find me the book that this was pointing at, and he said he would look for it, but I found it myself on eBay, so I got this book. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's so many connections there, but I attribute much of that to the great legend himself. So in this detective work, you need luck, and you need good friends. Okay, talk about good friends. This is what I'm going to talk about next. The last thing I want to talk about is the Kamandi connections. About 2 years ago, Roger, Sleepy Reader, and I did a stream together regarding Kamandi and the Kamandi prototype in this book, right? Kamandi and Kamandi prototype, and Jack Kirby, and we basically, did a stream to prove to the world that Jack Kirby did not, in fact, copy from Planet of the Apes, minus that statue, of course. Sleepy Reader even came out with this this article. It's no longer available. Anyway, came out with this article on the internet where Jack Kirby tried to publish a news strip back in 1956, and that news strip was called Kamandi in the Cave. Prehistoric story, Kamandi in the Cave. So definitely Jack Kirby did not, borrow from Planet of the Apes. That settled. He may have borrowed a lot from Fawcett Publication. Now, that should be okay because Fawcett Publication became DC Comics, right? At least Shazam did, right? So I don't know how that works out. They didn't have to worry about Planet of the Apes suing them, at least. Yeah, and Raja and Sleepy also had this theory that OMAC was a prequel to Kamandi. See, all these Kamandi connections. We could go. So, understand Higgy Pop. He's also interested in Kamandi, and he was interested in doing this more, old folks talk comic. So, yeah. So I would love to have a Higgy Pop back, Sleepy, Marowak, and a couple more room. I think. You guys, if this open invitation, if you guys are interested in talking about the Kamandi connections, I know Joe, I think he was interested in Kamandi. Joe Anachronic Joe, and maybe even the great legend himself. He got me this book after all, the Kamandi prototype. He had a copy too, so he must be a Kamandi fan. So yeah, so let's talk Kamandi connection. This is my open invitation as I conclude this video. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy that. I enjoy making it. Anyway, till next time, I'm out.